Hello, and welcome to Go Fund This, a podcast from Nerds Domain. In these episodes, we'll be talking to crowdfund project managers about their projects and what excites them. Come listen as we talk about the passion they have for their project. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Go Fund This episode 0. So, you guys have probably heard some of our podcasts before in the Nerds Domain podcast feed. You've probably heard some of these sorts of episodes as well there. We're splitting that off, though. We had been part of Nerds Domain podcast. We are still hosted by the same people. But I wanted to give Go Fund This a chance to shine on its own. And so we've broken it off into its own podcast feed and its own, you'll have its own ability to subscribe and to follow that on iTunes and Stitcher and everywhere else that we're usually found. So now that we're our own podcast, what does that exactly mean? Well, once or twice a week, we're going to try and give you an episode that covers a crowdfunding project from Kickstarter to Indiegogo, maybe some Patreon stuff. It just depends on who's going to contact us or who we end up finding and the kind of stuff we're looking for. So what we do in these is we talk to the project managers and we kind of hear about their passion, and that's the key to Go Fund This, is the passion behind the project. We want to know from the project manager what's important to them and why they're so excited, so you can get excited too, and so I can get excited. It's not just you guys that are listening to this. This is really also my chance to talk to project managers and hear about their projects in a deeper way. We do treat it as a very easygoing interview, so it's not going to be hard-hitting questions or deep theological discussions. It's just going to be, tell us about your project, tell us about who you are, and let us learn a little bit more about you. We like to give everybody a chance to get off the ground with their projects and succeed in some way. In the podcast feed that you've got now, you're going to see about 24 episodes from the Nerds Domain podcast that we've ported over. Those are all of our old episodes that were part of Nerds Domain, but still are part of this Go Fund This project. And then you have currently, as of the time of this recording, 6 other Go Fund This podcasts, episodes 1 through 6, for counting purposes and keeping track. Those are the 6 that start the whole thing. So we'll move forward from there. But be sure to check everything out, even if it's already passed, even if it's something that you haven't had a chance to back and you never will because it's an old podcast and an old crowdfund. Go back and listen to them and see exactly what we've done with them, and listen to people's excitement and their passion about what they've been doing. What you can do for us to help us out is a couple of things. First, listen to us and subscribe. That's a big one. Subscribing even past this first episode, which is really episode 0, and telling your friends about it to get them excited as well is really important. The other thing that you can do is telling crowdfunding project managers about us. If you know somebody that's going to be putting something up on Indiegogo or on Kickstarter or on Patreon, and it vaguely comes into our kind of realm of geeky, nerdy things, we want to talk to them. Even if it doesn't come anywhere near that, if it's about something that those people are excited about, that they're geeking out about, that they are nerds about, that's what we want to talk to people about. It's things that people are excited about, and they just need a little bit more push, a little bit help here and there to get their project started. We've done 2 Kickstarters. We failed at one and we succeeded at the other, and we know just exactly how stressful that can be and how exciting it can be when you see your project grow and expand and, meet its goals. I also know from having talked to a lot of people, it can be even more terrifying after it meets its goals, and we want to give everybody a chance to talk about what they're experiencing and why that's important. So, if you like what you're hearing already on any of the episodes, definitely subscribe, check us out, and follow us. You can find us on facebook.com/nerdsdomain. Nerdsdomain is our overall banner for all of our podcasts and our website, but this will be Go Fund This, and it won't have its own Facebook page. We're going to keep it in the Nerds Domain house. You can also find us at Nerds Domain on Twitter. Again, the same thing with Facebook. We do have a Patreon page up. I'll talk about our own little crowdfunding situation. We believe in a value for value method, and Patreon lets us do that with our listeners and our fans. So if you find value in anything that we're doing, this podcast or any of the other ones that we do, uh, go over there and consider giving us a little bit of value back. Every penny, every dollar, every bit helps. And just knowing that we have fans out there that support us, that's important to us too. And then you can find our shirts for Nerds Domain over at Slashloot. You go over to Slashloot and search for Nerds Domain, and they'll pop right up, and you can check those out and order them there. And we want to thank Jarby McCoy for his music. And otherwise, we will talk to you guys real soon.
This has been a production of the Omega Nerds Network, the network where it's on.